The story of humanity isn't a straight line. It's a tangled, fascinating web. For most of our existence, we shared the planet with other human species, each adapted to their own world. Imagine a time when a walk through a valley could mean meeting a different kind of human. Thanks to science and digital artistry, we can now reconstruct the faces of these ancient relatives. In this journey, we'll unveil the most accurate reconstructions ever created and meet the pioneers, island dwellers, and Ice Age survivors who shaped our story. Prepare to meet the other humans, and in doing so, discover more about ourselves. Nearly 2 million years ago, on the vast and sun-baked plains of Africa, a remarkable new kind of human emerged, Homo erectus, known as the upright man. This species would become one of the most successful and enduring members of our evolutionary family. Unlike their more primitive ancestors, Homo erectus fully committed to walking upright. This evolutionary leap freed their hands, opening up a world of new possibilities and allowing them to interact with their environment in ways no hominin had before. Their long, powerful legs and remarkable endurance enabled them to travel vast distances. They could follow migrating herds, explore new territories, and adapt to changing climates, making them true wanderers of the ancient world. In their hands, intelligence sparked and flourished. Homo erectus became master toolmakers, crafting the Acheulean hand axe, a versatile and sophisticated tool that would be used for over 1 million years. This innovation marked a turning point in human technology. This wasn't just skill, it was the birth of culture. Knowledge of tool-making was passed down through generations, creating a shared tradition that bound communities together and shaped their daily lives. But perhaps their greatest leap was taming fire. Over 1 million years ago, Homo erectus learned to control flames, using fire for warmth on cold nights, protection from predators, and, crucially, for cooking food. Fire transformed their diet, making food easier to digest and unlocking vital nutrients. This new source of energy fueled the growth of their brains, setting the stage for even greater cognitive abilities. As a result, their brains grew larger, their skulls became more complex, and their minds more capable of problem-solving, planning, and social interaction. They were the first humans to leave Africa, embarking on epic journeys that took them across Asia and into Europe. Along the way, they encountered new landscapes, climates, and challenges, adapting with remarkable resilience. Imagine small bands of Homo erectus cooperating and communicating as they hunted, gathered, and survived among giant predators and unfamiliar dangers. Their ability to work together was key to their survival. Their faces, with heavy brow ridges, strong jaws, and broad noses, are both familiar and alien, a blend of the ancient and the recognizable. Yet in their eyes, we glimpse curiosity, ingenuity, and the spark of something deeply human, a drive to understand and shape the world around them. Homo erectus persisted for over 1.5 million years, an astonishing span of time, 9 times longer than our own species has existed so far. Their story is one of endurance and adaptation. Their final populations may have witnessed the arrival of modern humans, sharing the landscape with our ancestors, and perhaps even exchanging ideas or competing for resources. Their extinction wasn't a failure, but the closing of a triumphant chapter in the human saga, a chapter that paved the way for all who followed. They proved that bipedalism, intelligence, and technology were a winning combination, setting the foundation for the future of humanity. When we look at their reconstructed faces, we see true pioneers, trailblazers who set humanity on its path, lighting the way for generations yet to come. Their legacy lives on in our DNA, in our urge to explore, to innovate, and in our mastery of fire, a gift that still shapes our lives today. We walk in the footsteps of these upright pioneers, carrying forward their spirit of discovery, resilience, and ingenuity into the future. Our story shifts to the remote and mysterious island of Flores, Indonesia, a place that would become the center of one of the most astonishing paleoanthropological discoveries of the 21st century. In 2003, a team of archaeologists unearthed fossils that would stun the scientific world, remains of a previously unknown human species, later named Homo floresiensis, but more famously known as the Hobbit for their remarkably small stature. These tiny humans stood just over a meter tall, about the height of a modern 3-year-old child, with brains no bigger than a chimpanzee's, yet they were clearly members of our genus, Homo. How did such small humans manage to survive in isolation until as recently as 50,000 years ago? The answer lies in a fascinating process called island evolution, or insular dwarfism. Isolated from the mainland for thousands of generations, their ancestors, likely Homo erectus, gradually became smaller, adapting to the island's limited resources and unique challenges. This same process also affected the animals around them, leading to a world of miniature elephants and giant birds. Despite their diminutive size, Homo floresiensis crafted sophisticated stone tools, showing remarkable intelligence and dexterity. They hunted pygmy stegodon elephants and perhaps even giant rats, thriving in an environment that would have challenged much larger humans. Their anatomy was a fascinating mosaic, primitive feet and wrists reminiscent of much older hominins, yet with hands capable of precise tool use and a brain that, while small, was organized in surprisingly advanced ways. The world they inhabited was truly lost to time. Giant storks stalked the forests, miniature elephants roamed the undergrowth, and a unique human species carved out its own niche. Facial reconstructions reveal a small, projecting face, lacking a chin, with a pronounced brow, features that set them apart from both modern humans and other ancient relatives. Evidence suggests that Homo floresiensis may have overlapped in time with the arrival of Homo sapiens in the region, raising tantalizing questions about possible encounters between these two very different human species. Did our ancestors ever meet the hobbits of Flores? The archaeological record is silent, but the possibility sparks the imagination and challenges our ideas about what it truly means to be human. The existence of Homo floresiensis proves that human evolution is not a straight line, but a complex branching experiment with many unexpected outcomes. On Flores, being small, resourceful, and efficient was the key to survival, showing that evolution can take surprising turns in response to unique environments. The Hobbit of Flores stands as a vivid reminder of the unpredictability and diversity of our family tree and of the many paths that evolution can take. Their story is a lesson in humility. Our species, Homo sapiens, is just one outcome among many, not necessarily the inevitable one. For a long time, the world was home to many kinds of people, and the little people of Flores were among the most surprising, reminding us that the story of humanity is far richer and stranger than we ever imagined. Now we travel back in time to the harsh, frozen landscapes of Ice Age Europe and Asia. Here, among the snow and wind, lived the Neanderthals, our most famous and intriguing extinct relatives, whose story is far richer than the stereotypes suggest. Far from being brutish cavemen, Neanderthals were highly adapted to survive in the unforgiving cold. Their bodies were short, stocky, and incredibly strong, built to conserve heat and endure the challenges of the Ice Age. Their wide noses helped warm icy air before it reached their lungs, and their robust bones reveal a life of constant physical activity, endurance, and resilience. Every feature tells a story of adaptation and survival. Neanderthals had brains as large as, or even larger than, modern humans, though their brains were shaped differently, hinting at unique ways of thinking and problem solving. While they lacked a chin, their faces were undeniably human, with expressive eyes and features that echo in some of us today. Neanderthals were skilled hunters, using advanced stone tools and coordinated strategies to take down massive prey like mammoths and bison. Their survival depended on intelligence, cooperation, and innovation. They lived in close-knit groups, sharing food, controlling fire, and cooking meals together. Neanderthals cared for their sick and elderly, showing compassion and social bonds that mirror our own. Archaeological evidence shows they buried their dead with care and used pigments like red ochre, signs of symbolic thought, ritual, and perhaps even early art or personal adornment. For hundreds of thousands of years, Neanderthals thrived across vast stretches of Eurasia, adapting to changing climates and landscapes, and leaving behind a rich archaeological legacy. Then, around 45,000 years ago, a new chapter began as Homo sapiens, our own species, arrived in Europe, entering the world of the Neanderthals. The two species coexisted for thousands of years, sometimes competing, sometimes sharing the land, and even interbreeding. Today, most people outside Africa carry traces of Neanderthal DNA in their genomes. These Neanderthal genes helped us adapt to new environments, influencing our immune systems, skin, and even aspects of our health. Their legacy is written in our very cells. The Neanderthal face is not that of a stranger, but of a distant ancestor, one whose features and spirit still echo in us today. Why did they disappear? The answer is complex. Dramatic climate shifts, competition with Homo sapiens, and interbreeding all played a role. Their world was changing rapidly, and survival became ever more difficult. But their lineage didn't simply vanish. Instead, it became part of us, woven into the fabric of our shared human story. Looking at their reconstructed faces, we see not just survivors, but innovators, caretakers and family, people who loved, struggled and dreamed. Their story challenges us to rethink what it means to be human and to recognize the deep connections we share with those who came before us. Neanderthals were not a dead end, but a successful, enduring branch of humanity, whose achievements and legacy still shape us today. They are our closest extinct relatives, and their face belongs in our ancient family album, a reminder that the story of humanity is far older and far richer than we once believed. As we gaze at these ancient faces, Homo erectus, Homo floresiensis and Neanderthals, we look into an ancient mirror. Each face tells a story of survival, adaptation, and a different way of being human. Our family tree is a tangled bush, not a single trunk. These reconstructions challenge us to reflect on our own place in history. The story of human evolution is still unfolding, with new discoveries rewriting our past. Subscribe to World Explorer and join us as we uncover more captivating stories, because the next discovery is always just around the corner.